All right. I am here. Gonna wait a few minutes, see who tunes in because we're gonna start right at 1. So if I'm gonna explain this now, I'll explain it again. I'm gonna be needing answers from everyone in the chat to decide on the reading that we do for today. So make sure that you find your chat box and can send the answers in there. All right. Let's see. I think has anyone coming in? Not yet. In the meantime, I'm going to read the description of the book. I'm going to do another introduction as well, but I'll read this for now. So today I'm here to celebrate. Oh, we got one person in the chat. Hi. So because I got 2 minutes before I actually want to start my intro, I'm just going to read the description of the book. I know a lot of people that have been following along already probably know, but here we go. So 1 year in a one-way ticket details the transformative journey of 23-year-old 𝗢𝗲. Born and raised in Toronto, under the watchful eye of her demanding mother, 𝗢𝗲 has always believed success means studying hard, securing a prestigious job, buying a home, and starting a family. However, her life takes an unexpected turn when she is rejected from missionary college, leaving her meticulously laid out plans in ruins and her spirits deflated. Spurred by this setback, what was supposed to be a short pre-vet school trip morphs into an extended year of self-exploration. With just a one-way ticket to Sri Lanka, 𝗢𝗍 faces a series of challenges, from unsettling encounters with volunteer hosts to arduous treks to cold, sickness-inducing altitudes. Yet, these pale in comparison to her greatest anxiety, returning home to confront her mother's stringent 5-year career plan. Candid and inspiring, 𝗢𝗍's story captures her pursuit of bravery, acceptance, and autonomy as she travels the world with a curious and courageous spirit. All right. I just want to see what this airs. More than one? Yeah, strange. I don't know what that means. Okay. I'm having some weird error come up on my screen. Not sure what it means, but I guess maybe it's fine. Oh boy. Let's see. Okay, 1 o'clock. I'm going to see if anyone else chimes in here. Maybe wait 1 minute. More than one ingestion. Okay, I think I might have to go out and start this back in. Or maybe it's fine if I already came in. Hard to test this since I'm not sure if this error is not giving me the full thing here. Okay, well, I suppose I will start. I can just have one person here, but that's okay. So I'm 𝗢𝗍 for anyone that doesn't know, that's maybe watching this later. And when I was a little girl, I dreamed that maybe I would become a ballerina when I grew up. And at some point, I convinced myself that I wasn't really good enough for that. So then I decided I would try to pursue veterinary college when I was older. And at some point, I decided that I wasn't sure about that either. And then in 2018, I got my, well, after 2018, in 2017, I got my rejection notice from vet college. And instead of trying to apply again, I instead decided to book a one-way ticket and go traveling for a whole year by myself. And that's the story that I share in this book. It's a blue book behind me too. And that's what I'm going to share a little piece of it with everyone today. This book is about risk, it's about rejection, about leaving the world without a plan, and learning to trust myself along the way. And one of the most important lessons I I think that I learned was that it doesn't matter. No one decision in life is make or break. So it doesn't matter if you change direction. It's okay to be a bit of a mess sometimes. And that even if we make the wrong decision, I don't really believe in that. The world has a funny way of bringing us right back to where we're meant to be in the first place. So yeah, that's all I'm going to share with. Hi, Monica. That's all I'm going to share with in terms of like an introduction about myself, mostly because I don't want to just like talk about me. I want you guys to hear a bit of the story, read it, and then I also want to answer a lot of questions, whether it's about the journey itself in the book. Doesn't have to be about that. I really want to make sure that we're asking any questions about travel, or maybe I'd love to hear you guys' any future travel plans. It'd be cool to hear as well. So without any further wait, to guide the section that I'm going to read from today, I actually want everyone's help to do that. So the book itself is actually divided into sections by country and then by city. So what we'll do first, I'll have everyone answer one first question for me, which is which country. I'm going to give 3 options. Hi, I'm going to give 3 options. So first option is Sri Lanka. Second option is India. Third option is Nepal. So you can go ahead, type whichever country you want to choose, and I'll wait for those to come up. And then we'll decide the city once those are in. So again, that's either Sri Lanka, India, or Nepal. We got 1 vote for Nepal. Okay. Yeah, let's see if anyone else chooses. Okay. Oh, 2 for Nepal. I think that might be the winner out of 2. I'll wait for Monica's still around. I'll wait for her answer, but in the meantime, I'll get my cities ready. India, Sri Lanka, or Nepal? Nepal. Okay. Maybe I just wanted to agree with everyone. Okay, so great. So now that we chose the country, there's 3 options for city. So either 𝗢ஹ𝗲, 𝗬𝗲, or Upper Pisang. 𝗢ஹ𝗲. If you can't spell that properly, I mean, I can spell it out for you now. 𝗢his𝗲, 𝗬𝗲, first option. Or 2 is 𝗬𝗲, 𝗬𝗲. And the third one, Upper Pisang, 𝗬𝗲. Okay, 1 vote for 𝗬𝗲. So 𝗢ஹ𝗲, 𝗬𝗲, or Upper Pisang. That's P-I-S-A-N-G. I know it's odd sounding name. I promise you that section is good. Yeah, I know how to spell. Yeah, that's perfect. I actually read that section from Upper Pisang over the weekend for my first event, which was a lot of fun. But let's go with 𝗬𝗲. That's actually my favorite scene. Maybe Monica's read that one already too. Okay. All right. Since we don't have any other people, I think, that are voting right now, that's 2 votes for 𝗬𝗲. So I'm just going to go with it. My majority vote. I love it. Yeah. Okay. So this section is from when I was in Nepal, obviously. And at this point, I'm doing the Annapurna circuit trek with a few friends of mine that I met along the way. So just to give you a bit of background. So, and also good to know is that my friends are referred to by country name, not by their first names. Not because I'm concealing identity, which I did change names in the book, but we actually speak like this in normal conversation when I talk to them. So that's why we're called Canada, England, Sweden, Belgium. Okay, just for reference. All right, here we go. We endured 2 days without trekking poles, sharing Belgium's poles between 4 of us. We can't go another day like this. That guy is selling poles, Canada. England picks up his pace, and his eyes are on target. We're buying them. Sweden tosses the big bamboo branch he's been using into the dirt off the trail. Thank goodness. This stick is crumbling at the bottom. They're overpriced compared to what we would have paid back in Pokhara, but we accept this as punishment for our assumption that poles are for older, pretentious people. I strap the new poles to my wrists and start walking. Wow, this is amazing. I think we wanted to do this trek without poles. A pole to relieve weight off your back when walking all day isn't a superfluous piece of gear, just as necessary as hiking boots. If you're a local Nepali, you don't need poles or boots. The average Nepali porter, a person who transports everything from bags of rice to kitchen appliances, wears flip-flops, and occasionally uses a walking stick from the trail like Sweden has been doing. Many things about the local village people bewilder us. Why is that guy carrying a fridge? I ask. The fellowship holds on for dear life to our sticks as we haul ourselves up another steep rocky hill, while this guy trudges uphill effortlessly with 10 times the weight. Why not? England replies. And why is that baby hanging in a hammock on the edge off the road? Belgium asks. Why not? England repeats. Why not is our new go-to answer to whatever seems out of the ordinary. In foreign places, seeing new and strange things happens constantly. It's not always as wild as seeing someone carry a fridge on their back up the Himalayas. It might be as simple as adding spices to oatmeal. When something appears odd, there's likely a reason behind the occurrence. We just don't know it yet. When we ask why not, we become observers, not critics. Like the lights in the Sri Lankan temple or bucket baths, I've been training myself to have the open-minded why not point of view for a while. I just didn't realize it. The day after we find trekking poles, we find our first side trail. Why not opt for a scenic route, right? This trail leads up this hill to a village called 𝗲𝗲. I explained to the group while consulting my offline maps and the paper map from the checkpoint office. 𝗲𝗲. England pushes his lips together and peers into the distance. Sounds cool. I say we do it. The wide canyon we see while hiking the trail is covered with tall trees and crisp gray rock summits on either side underneath a cloudless sky. It's stunning, but we're not focused on nature. We're climbing an endless flight of giant stone steps up to the mysterious 𝗲𝗲. Guys, I stop to pant and readjust my crutches. I mean trekking poles. I'm starving. I don't think I can last much longer. Me too, Belgium huffs. It's okay. We'll find some place to eat once we're up there. We drag ourselves and the packs on our backs for another hour before we reach the top. We wander through the narrow dirt streets of 𝗲𝗲, scouting places to eat like bears waking from hibernation. The old wooden houses along the road are shut or empty. Ghost town. Sweden glances from side to side. I don't think there's anyone here right now. It can't be. I can't hike another mile without lunch. Let me ask this guy. I spot a Nepali man and walk up to him. Hi, somewhere to eat? I motion with my hands, eating from a plate. No one here, the man replies. Everyone at football game. Oh, I'm surprised and crushed. Thank you. Odd, I haven't noticed any football fields around, England speaks up after the man walks away. I glance at England. Why not, right? Ha! True, Canada, he replies. Anyway, we might have to wait a bit longer for food. I revisit my map and lead the group out of 𝗲𝗲 to the next town. Bellies growling, we're ready to give in to having another granola bar for lunch. I notice a woman standing outside a wood house and ask her if there's some place to eat. We exchange a few English words and lots of hand gestures. After agreeing on a price per person for a plate of 𝗲𝗲 and vegetables, we're invited inside. I've never been so excited to eat 𝗲𝗲. We duck our heads under the dark wood door frame into the home. The kitchen and living room are a single open square room. A faint tunnel of sunlight from the upper floor that opens to the roof is the only light filling the room. Silver and copper dishes, from tiny teacups to giant soup pots, are stacked on shelves along the walls. The room is centered around a wood-burning stove with a black chimney. The walls near the stove are stained black, as is some of the silverware on the shelves. The lady squats down beside the stove on the carpet, lying on the wood floor. She starts the fire to cook our lunch. Then she directs us to go onto the roof to rest while she prepares the food. We climb one by one up the 2 flights using ladders shaped like narrow canoes with hollowed-out footholds. Red and yellow patterned carpets lie on the flat cement roof. Sweden stretches out on a carpet to start a yoga flow, while the rest of us kick off our boots and lie down. We're close enough to step onto neighboring roofs, and we can see the town's silent streets below. As Sweden finishes his last asana, the nutty scent of freshly steamed rice wafts up below. Our host appears from the top of the ladder. Food ready, she beckons. Come down, eat. I bolt to the ladder, forgetting to put my boots back on first. Rice, lentils, and garlicky dark greens are arranged on a big silver plates for each of us. I pour the yellow lentil curry over my rice and dig in. Surely my hunger and exhaustion are to blame, but it's the best fat I've had thus far. After we finish, we pay the woman for the meal and gather at the door to leave. Picture together? The lady asks. I meet eyes with fellowship. Why not, guys? We stack ourselves on a ladder vertically to fit us all in. The two women smile and make peace signs with their hands. I nudge my fellows to strike the same pose with me. I'm amazed that these locals happily open up their homes to us silly foreign hikers who clearly lack planning skills. Starving, exhausted, and desperate, I have no problem negotiating a meal in a stranger's home. I don't think I'd normally have the courage to do what I did today. The physical strain of the trail is making me bolder than ever. And that's it for that section. Thank you so much for listening, everybody. I hope that wasn't too confusing. I did forget to mention at the beginning that the fellowship is actually what I refer to me and the rest of the people I was hiking with. So if that sounded weird, that's why. What else I was going to say? Yes. Before I open up for some questions, you can think of the questions and start typing them in if you like while I go over this. But before I just open for discussion, I just wanted to summarize with my top 3 lessons that I learned through solo travel. And the first one is about the subjectivity of the word normal. And I did talk about that conveniently enough in that section a little bit about the concept of why not. So when we're traveling, we're generally, right, in a foreign place where we maybe don't know the language, customs, etc. And so when we're in that position of being the foreigner, we're the outsider, so we're sort of, as you speak, out of place. And I think this is a really important concept because we can learn really quickly how to have the sense of empathy, compassion, and tolerance for new environments and also people that we can take with us for the rest of our life. So subjectivity of the word normal is that first lesson. And then the second lesson that I think was important was the process of being authentic. A lot of times people talk about finding yourself when you go solo traveling. And I don't really like to use that term so much, only because I believe that finding yourself is like this ongoing journey that never really ends as we change as humans, right? Our morals, our wants, our needs, our goals, these are things that change over time. You know, what we want today might start to change tomorrow, and that's okay. So realizing that that's an ongoing process and being authentic means being open to change. And the last lesson is about strength and resilience. When you're traveling alone, you might come into various different situations that are difficult. And I think that even when we think we're not ready for a challenge, we actually are. I believe that, maybe this sounds a little hokey, but the universe is basically only presented with something that we can tackle. And we don't really realize how strong we are until we actually need to use that strength. So those 3 things are what I think are really important that we learn from solo traveling. And I just wanted to summarize that. Now, if you have any questions, I'm going to say hi to everyone because I got lots of hellos in the chat here. Riley, thank you. Kat, thank you so much. And that's Dave. Hello. Yes, I agree. Yes, and we're always in the process of becoming, right? Change is the one constant in life. I truly believe in that saying. I think we have to always stay open with ourselves and the world around us to feel good and happy. So yeah, any questions about solo traveling? It can be about the book or even about that section that I just read from. Happy to answer questions about that. Or maybe you're going to a trip somewhere soon and you want to ask some questions. If I've been there, I'd be happy to help out or give any advice. Thank you so much. There's this saying, congrats on the book. And I don't think he's here right now, but I am wearing this Jorky sweater, published author, from a good friend of mine that bought that. So lots of congrats coming in for me the last little while, and I'm so grateful for everyone. You guys are the best. Yeah, waiting for some questions. I'll probably open up for questions for maybe like 15 minutes or so. I won't drag this on too long. I did schedule it for an hour, but Would you do another travel alone experience and where next? Yeah, 100%. I would definitely go alone again. I think since that trip, there's been a bunch of travel solo since. I was in uh, Costa Rica and Nicaragua by myself for a while. Done some other trips alone. But as far as next now, hmm, I have been saying to people that I really want to go to South America. I've only been to Peru in the past for 2 weeks. I'd really love to go to maybe Colombia or Brazil, but this is all dependent on trying to see if maybe I take a job somewhere or not. Not really sure. But maybe South America generally, if that works as an answer for that question. Um, yes, I remember you reading that first version too. It's a different book. I actually had a few friends that read sort of like one of my first drafts back in, I don't know what year that would have been, but and then that are now reading it again, which is really nice to see. So that it'll be interesting once you read it again. Then Elena, that'll be nice to see your thoughts. I solo traveled New Zealand for a week, South Island. Uh-huh. Oh yeah. I've got this question too over the weekend. So I I also feel like I can be somewhat introverted as well, but I don't know. I like to I like my own company too much. Maybe that's not a bad thing. But I did suggest to a few people that there's some activities that kind of feel crappy to do them alone. One of them, like eating dinner at a restaurant, can feel kind of lonely sometimes. And I struggled with it too, actually, personally, in the past. So one thing that helped me, it was kind of like a crutch in the beginning, because now I don't really care if I'm alone. But back then I would have a book. I would always have a book. And so if I'm alone having a coffee somewhere, I'm just sitting there reading. If I'm at dinner, yeah, if I feel like I need like some sort of stimulation in that way, I'll open up my book. And there's other people that I've seen that like sketch and stuff. They'll put a sketchbook in some places. I find that kind of cool. So maybe if there's some sort of activity that you can do, not necessarily, I guess you could always scroll on your phone, but I don't necessarily like doing that. But reading is really great because it lets you not feel like you're really alone. But I have gotten that in the past, to answer the second part of that question. Definitely, there's moments where I feel like, oh, it would be really nice to have company. But I do feel like traveling alone now definitely feels a lot less lonely than probably it was like years ago, only because we're so well connected. Like you can, video call people without much effort. So it's pretty easy to stay connected, which I'm very grateful for that as well. I'm going to go to the next question, guys. About the Annapurna ring, what do you suggest as fundamentals to bring with you? Ooh, I should I should put this in the chat. I wrote an article for Go World Travel, and I'll save it in the description of this video afterwards, maybe. Definitely trekking poles, especially if you're going to be carrying your own stuff. Actually, this is a picture from the trek. I just realized behind me. When you're hiking, like I consider myself fairly fit, but after the first few days of having the bag on my back, which wasn't necessarily that heavy, but when you're walking all day, every day, it gets painful. So the poles just take a lot of the bearing. It seems like it wouldn't make that much of a difference, but it really did. I felt relieved when I got the poles. That would be definitely one thing to bring. If you're sensitive to cold, bring a sleeping bag. Don't listen to other people's opinions that tell you don't need them, because I did that, and I definitely regretted that, because there was a few places that I was freezing that night, and I wished I had a sleeping bag, because getting extra blankets from guest house owners was just, it didn't cut it. And the other, as far as fundamentals, I would say generally make sure you got just pack the lightest you can. Pretty much have like one warmer hiking outfit, one for colder weather. Lots of layers, like long sleeve thermal shirts, leggings, that sort of thing, so you can layer on as it gets colder. But yeah, those two things, the poles and the sleeping bag, are one things that definitely should have had in the beginning. Thanks, Nigel. Colombia and Brazil are both great. Yes. Do I speak Spanish or Portuguese? Okay. So Embarrassing fact about me. My mom is Portuguese, so half my family's Portuguese. I don't speak well in Portuguese. I understand it very well. My Spanish is actually better than my Portuguese. Very embarrassing to say that, but that's the reality. So my hopes and traveling down there and maybe staying a while would really improve, because I did find after I was staying in Nicaragua, especially, my Spanish improved a lot, only because I was using it all the time. So when I'm somewhere where I don't need it, obviously you kind of get lazy in a sense. So that's my bad. But yeah. Which part of the book or aspect did you find most struggling to write? Okay. I'm going to answer the question in 1 second, but I did want to put this here in the chat. I'm going to put this here just to explain something quickly. I forgot to mention this at the beginning, guys. It should work. But basically, I have a giveaway contest. If you buy the book and fill out this form, because I'll need some of your info, I'm doing a $200 giveaway for an airline, which will be determined once I figure out the winner, only because I have people like, internationally. I don't want to say give a Canadian airline if there's no Canadian airlines flying out from where you are. So yeah, fill that out. And if you want to be entered for my giveaway, that's going to be done at the end of this month, because I have a few other events coming up as well that I want everyone to have a chance. So yes, I'm going to go back to the question. Which part of the book or aspect did you find struggling to write? Okay, I felt like the hardest part for me, or that was a struggle in terms of getting out, was reframing my manuscript. So what happened after a while of working with a writing coach, actually it wasn't a while, it was one of the first things, when she read it, and we decided, at first it was more of like a collection of essays. We decided, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to change gears here a little bit. And basically she said to me that if we want to make this into a proper memoir with this, like this main theme, and you want to, like, you're the protagonist, obviously, so you really need to dive more into like providing your feelings, your thoughts, your emotions throughout the book, because right now there's not so much of that. She said, if no one cares about you, they're not going to care about the story, which is so true. I don't know why. I guess I'm the kind of person that doesn't want to like, focus so much on myself sometimes. But of course, when we're reading a lot of like really great memoirs, of course, like you end up developing this connection to the main character, which is the author, I guess, in that case of memoir. So that for me, what I found really hard was diving a little bit deeper in some cases and providing those like vulnerable thoughts. I feel like once I did, that really took it up a notch. And I even did that even till the very end, like one of my last sort of developmental edits. Another editor, she kind of did the same thing where she was like, okay, we need more. We want to understand more of like your worries in this moment here, like pinpointing a few places. So that is probably what was the hardest for me. But now that I've done that, I feel like I've definitely changed a lot as a writer. Okay, were you able to recall most of the details of your travels? Did you have a diary with you? I did have a diary. I'm actually looking for it at my desk because I should have it. I don't know where it went. This is really embarrassing. A friend gifted to me, and I did not do this thinking I was going to write a book, by the way. This was just something I wanted to do when I went away. So I had a 12-month calendar, normal boxes, and on each day, I wrote like point form notes, like went to this beach, saw this person, this. Very, very brief notes. And surprisingly, what that helped do, I actually feel like I have a good kind of almost photographic memory, which definitely helped in writing. But that journal really helped me pinpoint like the chronological order of some events that took place, some people, like names of people I totally forgot. And then I went in and I was like, oh crap, I actually do have this name. So it was actually very helpful to have that. I did not plan to do that. That just worked out really well. I never wrote diary entries. I remember a trip I took way before this. I tried to like do like, journal pages. Not good at that. I'll do it for like a day or two and then I just sort of give up. I suppose it's a type of laziness that I have. But the point form notes were, and I actually have another sort of diary like that I got gifted from another friend. And it's kind of like point form notes from each day, and it actually lasts 5 years. So I'm really looking forward to going through that. I'm almost at the 1-year mark of that, so that will be really fun. So if anyone is going on a trip, I would say if you don't like journaling, just doing like point form notes, you can even keep that in a calendar on your phone or something, and that would be really helpful to like remember nice things that you want to remember from your travels. Still taking more questions if anyone's interested. We'll open up for a little bit longer, I guess. It's 1:27. Yeah, 2 more minutes, maybe 10 minutes or so. Anybody else? I can also think of some questions that I want to ask you guys, because I know a few of you in here have already read the book, but I would like, this would be more general, if you have a trip planned, where's everybody going? Very interested to know. Oh, Monica's just handing out the questions. That's great. So in the meantime, if you know of a trip you're taking on soon, write it in the chat because I want to know. Will you write another book of another travel experience, or would you look into another genre? I am already writing another travel kind of memoir. It's going to be about living in Kurdistan, or Erbil specifically, and teaching ballet there. Yeah, so I haven't done too much of that, to be honest. I started that in August and wrote out a few scenes, but I need to get back on that. Hopefully soon, once I'm done with these events, I think I'll probably have enough mental energy for that. I have thought about another genre, though. I actually really want to take some workshops, courses, or something or other in poetry. I've never done that really before, but I'm really interested because I like reading poetry. So yeah, that would be something I'd love to try. But as far as right now, just doing another sort of similar one, which would be a really good follow-up to this book, actually. So I'm excited for that. Ooh, Bella, you're going to Hawaii. That is so exciting. What island? I think, Ashley, wait, I think I remember you telling me what you're going to do, some multiple islands, but that is super nice. I went to Maui with my mom and stepdad years ago, and it was beautiful. Such an amazing place. Audio recordings. Yeah, actually, that's a great idea. I love that, Elena. That's a great idea because then you can do that really fast, right? Obviously, we can talk faster than we type. So that would be a great way. At the end of each day, you can just say, oh, still a summary of what you did for the day while you're traveling. That's some idea. And actually, I will keep that in mind if I ever need to for later. Okay, back to Switzerland, Germany for the Eurovelo tour. Right. Ooh, that'll be fun. Can have a fellowship of the Velo tour, maybe. No plans for now. Oman. Oh yes, Oman. There's someone I'm following on Instagram that was there recently, and I was super interested. Actually, it looks like a really beautiful country to explore. Of course, it's always nice being by the sea. No complaints about that. Mount Shasta, California. I don't know exactly where that is in California, but it sounds nice. California is good. It's warmer than here. I'll be going there in 5 days to Los Angeles to do a few events and visit a friend. So I'm super excited about that. And I don't know where this, but if that's close to where I am, maybe I can swing a visit. Maybe we can meet up. That would be cool. Yeah. Wow, it's exciting. Everyone's got a few travel plans. Yeah. I guess I should have said my next travel plan was going to the States. That would have been more accurate. But I guess I'm kind of going felt in my mind. It didn't count as like a travel thing, but I guess it does. That's funny. So we have a few other plans. Switzerland, Germany again. I don't think I missed anything. I'm just scrolling. Sometimes I feel like I missed stuff. Just around our mind, everyone again, just go up to the chat and that link to the Google Doc if you bought a book. Please enter yourself to win $200 to fund your next trip, perhaps. That would be great for you. No, for me too. I'm happy to send the book out more. Northern California. Okay. So it'll be a bit far for me. That's okay. Maybe I'll go Northern California too. I'm actually debating trying to early May. I see. Okay, good to know. I'll keep that in mind. I'm actually debating seeing if I can book some other book events for maybe San Francisco or something else while I'm there. But not nothing set in stone at this point because, well, open. Because I find it's funny. One question I got actually over the weekend that I found interesting was about you decide where you go next. And I'm very haphazard about that. Oftentimes, like next cities I'd go to is kind of be like some traveler I met along the way was like, oh, hey, you got to really hit up this place in Nepal or whatever it was. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I would just kind of try it and see how it goes. Great hiking at Mount Shasta. Okay. Nice to know. I do like my hiking trips. Thank you so much, Monica. I will definitely let you know if I can get a translation. That would be amazing. If this book manages to get enough requests for translation, that would be wild. And I would be over the moon happy about that. So I'll keep you posted about that. You'll be the first to know if it's available in Italian. I'll keep that in mind. All right. Well, I think I might close this off because I wasn't getting any more questions. Just a few comments the last while there. Oh, one more. Okay, we'll see. I'm going to cut this off in 5 minutes. Okay, so that's 1:37 Eastern Standard Time where you are, but 5 minutes. So if you had a German translation, yeah, we'll work on that. If you had to pick a place to settle down, I know never happening. Out of all the places you've visited around this amazing planet, where would it be? Okay. I usually say that like my favorite place that I've been to, especially in this trip that's included in the book, was the northern coast of Spain. Only because it was just beautiful weather there in the summer. I guess the timing as well. I think in the winter it's a bit damp and cold, but beautiful beaches and ocean, beautiful mountains. Everything is just so green. Like the lush vegetation there is just insane. I was saying to someone over the weekend that the hydrangea blossoms are like the size of basketballs. Like they're just huge. Everything is just so beautiful. And I had such an amazing time there. It was very tranquil kind of energy there. So I really enjoyed. But that being said, I haven't traveled a lot through like the south of Spain. So I can't really speak to those places so much. So maybe I would want to settle down somewhere there in Spain. I don't know, but I really enjoyed my time in the north of Spain. It was wonderful. And there were a few spots where I just looked around and I thought to myself, wow, I could almost stay here. But I did want to go back to Thailand at the time. So that's what I did. Yeah, I'm probably there. But I always say, I mean, the world is so big, like maybe it'll happen that there is some place where I do want to stay. I'm keeping my mind open to that option, but it just hasn't happened yet, let's say. But I do think settling down, I do like the idea of moving around a lot. South of Spain, I also love. Yeah, I've met a few friends that do quite a bit of traveling, and they have said too that like south of Spain definitely is hot in the summer. Like that's intense. But given I've lived, you know, in Kurdistan, Rakit, and that's pretty hot. So I don't know. I'd probably survive. But I like the heat, so that's also personal preference too. So depending on the kind of person you are, some people tolerate heat a lot more than others. Pella says, have you traveled to the Portuguese islands? I have not traveled to Madeira. Actually, yeah, Elena says Madeira is great. Yes, I've heard amazing things about Madeira, and I do want to go. I'd love to go to the Azores as well. There was at a point, I don't remember where I was traveling to, but I was looking at flights and I saw that there were some from Toronto anyways, some stopovers through the Azores to then go to Europe. Oh, that would be amazing. So hopefully I can do that at that point because I really definitely want to go and explore there. Definitely at some point. We have about 1 more minute. If anything pops up in the chat, I'll take like 1, 2 more questions quickly and then I'll end the stream. But oh, it's been nice to share. And this is actually this is my first time doing like a live stream like this, and it actually feels a lot less lonely than I thought it would. I thought that doing a live stream I would feel like I'm just talking to myself the whole time, which I am, but in a nice way because there's lots of comments coming through, lots of questions to chat about. Nothing else. Okay. All right. I'm gonna leave it there then, guys. I want to just thank you again. Make sure if you're buying a book that you fill out the document chat that I sent so you can be entered for the giveaway that I'm going to be doing at the end of the month. Really excited to fund someone's future trip. And thank you again for coming in and listening and asking your questions. It was so nice to connect with you guys. And yeah, if you're looking for the book, all the information about the book is in the description below the video, so you can order later on if you need to. And yeah, that's it. I just want to wish everyone fantastic future travels. And if you ever want to connect with me, ask questions later on, you feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to chat. And thanks so much. And you're welcome. Thanks for joining in. You're welcome for all the info. It's nice for you to come in and ask those questions. Hope everyone has an awesome day. Bye.